should have picked more of a Thanksgiving type song, but what is up, everybody? Welcome to another episode of Let's Do It Podcast. I'm Ryan.
I'm your Spookmaster, Anthony.
Ooh. As normal, the music that you hear is from our guy, Dark Rezard.
Dark Razord. Sound effects. Maybe, I don't know.
Let's get beer in
I'm
there.
curious,
You stop doing that.
I'm curious what that actually sounds like.
Yeah, we'll I'll definitely be listening to this episode. But what is up, everybody? Happy Thanksgiving if you celebrate. If you don't, then happy another day. Right?
Yeah.
Yeah.
I give thanks for you listening to this podcast.
Yeah.
That's what I am thankful for.
Listen, I just use this day as an excuse to eat too much food.
That's just any holiday in the United States of America, man.
That's all we do. I'm gonna eat a little too much. I don't work the next day, so I'm gonna probably drink a little too much. And
that's how I roll on New Year's, on Valentine's, on St. Patrick's Day, on Memorial Day, on Independence Day, Flag Day,
yeah,
Labor Day, on Halloween, on Thanksgiving, on Christmas, on Arbor Day,
Festivus too.
Festivus for the rest of us.
Yeah. I might actually be able to celebrate Festivus this year. I'm pretty excited.
On Kwanzaa.
Yeah, you gotta get crunk on Kwanzaa.
Yeah. That's the new motto.
Crunk on Kwanzaa.
We gotta run that past the responsible folks and propose that as a new
we're gonna get crunk on Kwanzaa.
Bing bong.
But man, we're actually pretty excited. So, as we mentioned, me and the wife are leaving town. So this is like, it's not the last one, but my family is definitely looking forward to it because it'll be the last one that will be like this. So
yeah,
but whatever. They can come up. I'm hoping next year we get them to come up and experience what the organs look like. That sounded really weird.
Yeah, I was like, in this movie, we did get to experience what organs look like.
Yeah, it's true.
Yeah.
All right, let's crack open this beer. And you want to tell us about it?
This beer is in a bottle. It's brown. It has a label on it.
Smash it into the table.
Yep, it's very sturdy. Very sturdy bottle. It kind of looks like it's gonna break the bottle opener.
Oh my god, this is really on there tight.
Do you need a metal bottle opener there?
There we go.
He's working on that.
Jeez, that was on there really tight. I was nervous.
Well, it's good. I don't want it to be loose on there. That'd be gross. So we are drinking 903 Brewing's Pecan Porter Brewers Reserve, 12.7 ABV. It smells like it.
Yeah.
It's a Imperial Double Coffee Porter. So we're going to be slipping here towards the end. But the style guide reads as follows. We here at 903 Brewing are highlighting the best of what a pecan porter offers with additional maple, coffee, and oak. Maple sweetness balances out the base beer's characteristic nutty, earthy dryness, while the coffee additions further embolden the porter's carafe malt. The finishing oak tailors the sweet maple, leaving a complex and delightful collaboration of bold coffee, earthy pecans, sweet maple, and oak. Like, I wonder if it has a really good oaky afterbirth. So my glass is much wider than yours. Don't forget that.
I know.
All right,
but I think it's about right.
Okay, I was like, you don't have to. Let's do this by weight here. That's okay. We're gonna take a weights and balance break here.
Yeah. But I mean,
okay, I got way more than you do right now.
I don't think so.
Yeah, you feel it.
But your glass is heavier too.
All right, we'll see how it goes. See who gets sloppier.
Oh, geez. Smells amazing, though. It really does. You can definitely smell that maple and the coffee mixed in there. I really like the way the bottle looks, too. Even though it's pretty plain, I just like the coloring.
Yeah.
It looks really, really nice. So let's take a sip and let's get crunk for Kwanzaa. Wow, that's Mm.
You know, what I like about porters is you get like the dark flavors of like a stout type, but
Yeah.
it's not as thick.
Yeah.
Yeah, so
It feels really light in the mouth.
yeah,
That's what she said.
light mouth. It's like the mouth feels much better in my opinion than
Yeah.
like it feels like with some stouts. It's like you're drinking like a syrup,
Yeah. Well, the last pecan one that we had from 903, that was that was
like a
a
bourbon barrel, right?
yeah, and it was a stout. No.
It was a bourbon barrel porter, I believe.
Was it?
Yeah, I think
I feel like
so.
that one felt a lot heavier though, but it
Yeah,
might have been the but
it may have been the bourbon.
yeah. But either way, this I think this tastes really, really good. Like it's definitely all it you definitely get that maple though, that's for sure. It's very strong in here.
Yeah,
But it's
getting
not
the
I don't think
pecans
it's
too.
yeah, I don't think it's too sweet though.
Yeah,
Because I'm
but
always worried that it's gonna be way too sweet whenever you get maple in there.
yeah. So the flavor profile on this one is pecan, coffee, maple, nutty, and oaky. Are you getting pecan?
I am.
Are you getting coffee?
Slight.
Maple. There's definitely
Definitely.
maple in
Yeah.
there. Nutty.
Sure.
Yeah, that's the same as pecan in my book.
Yeah.
And oaky.
Yeah. I feel like I get the oaky.
Yeah, I got the
Really,
oaky
the
aftertaste
coffee
too.
one is all I feel like the coffee is really subtle. Do you get it?
It's got to be like the bitterness in there.
Because like I'm really looking for it. If you want to see the facial expressions, make sure to check us out on all streaming services. Nope,
It's like
that's not
very
right.
light in there. Yeah,
Yeah, not streaming services, but YouTube, Twitch, Facebook.
make my tasting noise.
That's a 10. All right. So again, we'll go through this probably right at the end. Right as soon as we're about to end a pod, we'll remember to rate it like we did last time, because we'll probably get a little sloshed. It'll be great. I don't think we'll get that drunk, but anyways, let's talk about events coming up. So lots of Thanksgiving stuff coming up. Lots and lots. I know I talked about they have Drinksgiving happening on the 23rd over at Hoppenstein and over at Panther Island. Don't I've never
You know,
been
I've
to
never
any.
been to Panther Island. I'm like literally down the road from there, and I
Yeah,
still haven't been there. I am like, I need to get down there.
I've only done stuff to go during the pandemic, but we've never actually been there. So I need to make that happen. But let's see. On the 20, talked about those. So the 25th is Black Friday brunch over at the Bearded Lady. So that might be interesting. Black Friday stout flight and can release for False Idol on the 25th.
Ooh,
Black Friday stout over at Martin House on the 25th. 26th, we have Saturday after Thanksgiving event at Martin House. Don't know what that is.
that's a holiday too.
Yeah. Bourbon Barrel Temptress X, so 10 VIP party over at Lakewood on December 2nd. December 3rd is their uh, Bourbon Barrel Temptress just released for everybody, which I have 4 of those that
Of their EIP releases there.
So, because other people I've seen them post to trying to get rid of them, so I've taken a bunch of them, and I kind of want to
Keep a collection there.
I
Yeah.
want to keep going. Um, then of course the backyard pit masters barbecue class. They're doing it over at Petacola's on December 3rd.
Where will
Holiday,
they be next?
yeah, right. Well, it looks like on December 10th they'll be over at Roaring Sun. So there you go. At the Ginger Man, they're doing a holiday beer tasting December 3rd.
It looks like they're doing an ugly sweater party as well on the 18th or the 10th of December. The Ginger Man.
Yes, yes, yes. There it is. Yeah, ugly sweater party on the 10th. Yep.
That's a bummer. I'm gonna be out of town for that.
Oh yeah,
Yeah,
you're gonna be out of town for your birthday.
I am. It's a bummer.
Huh? We always go out for your birthday. How
I know.
disappointing.
I think I may have to do something early or later. I'm only gonna be gone for like 2 days. So
Oh, okay. Then Santa Pictures at Turning Point on the December 3rd and 4th. December 9th is Panther Island's 8th anniversary. It says Lardy. That's an L.
They are having an 8th anniversary Lardy. I'm really curious. I'm curious
I
if that was like
wonder.
a typo or if that was like a typo they made originally when they first had their first party
And
and
so
they
they
just call
just
it a
kept it.
Lardy,
Yeah.
or if it's like a guy named Larry. That's a party for a guy named Larry
I
and it's
really
just
had
called
to
a
like
Lardy.
I blinked a couple of times thinking, "Oh, maybe this beer's already getting to me." Like, what the hell?
Hey, Beer and Big D, if you listen to our podcast, we really want to know what this Lardy is all about.
And if you ever want to be on the show, please.
Yeah, we'd be happy to have you.
And I'm just gonna talk about this now because I'm gonna talk about it, especially in December. But Festivus. So I love Festivus. Festivus for the rest of us.
I especially like the airing of grievances.
Hmm. And Celestial always does a Festivus party on Festivus, but I've always had to work the next day. Like it's never worked for me. Well, it's on a Friday this year, Festivus. So I think more than likely I already be off. So I told the wife, I was like, let's do it. Let's finally go and celebrate Festivus at Celestial. So I think we're gonna try to do that.
You know, I need to get over there because I have coupons for 5 free drinks at Celestial. So I think I may go with.
Yes.
Yeah.
Really, I think we're gonna make it happen. So yeah, if we do, and if you guys want to come see us, of course, as it gets closer, we'll talk about
Yeah,
it.
we'll mention it again to see if we actually go because sometimes when it gets closer to these things happen, of course. But
Yeah.
Festivus is something that's got to happen. So
Yeah, and I mean, like, because of course we're moving like the next week, but I was
yeah,
just like, I want to get enough stuff done so we can finally go to this. I've been wanting to go every single year, so
yeah. But
uh,
Festivus for the Costanza and all. Yeah,
that's right. So Festivus, you'll probably see me there. It'd be great if we both could go, and maybe we'll actually have stickers made. Maybe we hand those out. Be great. I
maybe.
need to. I've been slacking on all this stuff. Anyways, guys, so those are honestly just the events that I can see off of this. I guarantee you come December, there's this list is gonna be just I bet so full. Just full of
Oh yeah,
Christmas stuff
get
and
a
New
month of
Year's
Christmas stuff and New
stuff.
Year's, and then like getting into January,
Yeah, it's gonna be
back into the
nuts.
doldrums.
Yeah, it's gonna be
Yeah,
absolutely nuts. So one more little announcement is we will be taking off January. Again, with my move and everything, just our first month, there's no way I can make that happen because I won't have my stuff
yeah.
because we're doing a. Anyways, I'm not gonna explain all of it, but so you'll see us back in February, um, for Cage Fest. So that will be
And this we're already talking about what Cage
yeah.
Fest is gonna look like, and we already I think got two of the movies lined up. I can almost guarantee we are gonna do at this point. The Unbearable Weight of Massive Talent,
Hmm.
which is the new one, and the one I'm looking forward to doing is Prisoners of the Ghostland. Which, if you're familiar with that new one, it looks pretty redonkulous. So
So we are looking for two more movies because you
yeah,
guys know we try to fill up the month. Of course,
is
you
this
know,
the year? Is this the year we finally do jujitsu?
maybe.
I've heard so much bad about that movie.
Yeah, it sounds rough, but maybe if we don't get any recommendations, we'll probably end up doing that, and then one more.
Yeah,
But yeah, I feel like Nicolas Cage lately has coming out with more and more newer stuff. So I'm like, oh, great, at least something newer to do, even though it's still the same as his old stuff. Like
yeah.
it's Nicolas Cage.
It's like I think since we've kind of issued the freeness of the Nicolas Cage movies, I think it's opened up the doors a little bit for us.
Yeah.
There's also like the Color Space that like I think is a good one that we need to do.
Mm,
There's was that Drive Angry is another one that's
mm.
like really good out there. He's got some like so there's some good Nicolas Cage movies and there's some good bad Nicolas Cage movies and there's some bad Nicolas Cage movies. So
So yeah. So if you have any that you want us to do, please let us know because we'd love to fill it up with recommendations. But again, if not, obviously we'll find some.
yeah,
There's plenty of
we'll
them.
make it happen. So
All right.
whether you want it to or not,
That's right.
it's gonna happen.
Whether you like it or not, it's gonna happen. So let's get into our Thanksgiving movie, Pilgrim. Oof.
Oofa doofa. So this is a
Oofa
horror.
doofa.
This is a horror movie. So this is actually we find it's actually part of a horror anthology, called Into the Dark on Hulu. And it's an anthology series of it's an anthology series of holiday based horror movies,
Yeah,
and this is one of them. This is the one of the ones based. There's two based on Thanksgiving, so we were like, we were worrying to ourselves. There's not that many Thanksgiving based horror movies, and lo and behold, we have
I randomly found it.
two of these now that Ryan has discovered.
Yeah, and what's
So
exciting too is, again, we've through finding this, we realize, yeah, they do a lot of different holidays. So it's just like if we want to do a random holiday one,
yeah, like
they have it.
International Women's Day.
They
There's
have
a
that.
movie for that.
I'm almost nervous about that though.
Yeah.
So
Pet Appreciation Week. They
yeah,
got one.
which would be hilarious. We need to figure out when that is,
Yeah.
and we should mark it down and do it. Like we really, I'm excited because I feel like we have a whole nother world
Yeah.
just opened
So
up
much
to us.
potential.
Yeah,
Yeah. But this is a Bloomhouse Films project. So Bloomhouse is really hit or miss sometimes.
yeah.
They've got some really good ones. They got some really bad ones. So but yeah, so this is part of the Into the Dark anthology series, and it is called Pilgrim, and it came out in 2019, right?
I want to say sure.
Yeah,
Yes, 2019,
yeah, I think it came out
November 1st.
just before the pandemic there, yeah. Back in the innocent times. But
The before days.
yeah, let me bring my notes back up here. So, Pilgrim is what this one is called, and this is the synopsis. So, a woman invites reenactors to produce an authentic first Thanksgiving for her family and friends, or friend, to
He
be
was
more accurate.
friend. Yeah,
However, things take an unexpected turn when the actors refuse to break character.
sure.
Did they refuse to break character, or okay? So like I keep going back and forth on if they broke character or not, but like they kept in. I guess they kept within thematically within like character.
Yeah,
But it's like, were Puritans really like that back in like the like 1500s,
I could
1600s?
I could see that.
It's like Puritans, they were Puritans, so I get the stocks and all that stuff and the
Yeah,
branding and the but man,
man, it was wild. Yeah, and I feel like there should be more of an outline on this storyline that's written here on IMDb, just because it should be like took an unexpected turn, refusal to break character, and starts killing. Like, because it's not just that they refused to break character; it's they went nuts.
uh, well, it's like so it's like we get hints in this, but like the Ethan, who is like the head pilgrim, he comes in first time we see him, he comes in full buckle hat, uh, like the buckle shoes.
Looking damn
He's like in
sexy.
the full on like pilgrim outfit.
Listen, I ordered that outfit right away.
Yeah. He's like stereotypical pilgrim.
Yeah,
Thanksgiving, like you see like in your like classroom decorations when you're a kid, like and the kids the pilgrim's like
yeah.
on the bulletin board there. But yeah,
Like how?
it's like with the movable elbows. And they're like, I'm a pilgrim.
Yep.
Look at this is the month. It's November. The
You guys got to make sure you're watching us because that was awesome.
this is the clock. Tick, 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 tick. I forget what I was talking about now. But yeah, so he comes in there. We have Ethan and we have what was his name? Prudence?
Ooh,
Patience?
patience, I think.
Patience? Patience, Anna, Catherine, Tate, Ethan.
Patience. There we go.
Patience.
Yep.
Patience. Man, Patience is a beast. I tell you what, in more ways than one. But they come rolling in there. So the basis for this is that our main character is is Cody. So she is the daughter of her father and
Shane.
her father Shane and she got her stepmom Anna,
Mm-hmm.
who she refuses to call mom. She just calls her Anna, and then she's got a little brother Tate. And Anna, being the stepmother, Cody doesn't really care for. As teenagers,
Classic. Yeah. Yeah.
tend
Classic.
to do these things. Uh, so Anna also seems to be very social media centric, trying to make things look good. We get this from an HOA meeting. We kind of get the picture, this picture of it. Uh, she wants to bring the family together. The dad, he's like very much into like the international markets, and so he's always on this like tablet at the table.
Yeah.
And so she's like just wanting to bring the family together. And to do this, she saw a post on Facebook. I think it was they said Facebook, right?
I think so.
Yeah.
Yeah.
For
Shout out to
Thanksgiving.
Facebook.
Yeah, where you find all your trustworthy sources there. They She hired some Thanksgiving reenactors she found on Facebook randomly with good reviews. They I'm guessing they like got like some like folks in China to like just write good reviews and
They
just like
had
put it
to.
on their Google
Yeah.
reviews page. I don't know.
Or this is whenever Ethan like completely snapped.
It must be. It's like they wrote a bad review.
Yeah. It was. Anyways, finish your little thing.
Yeah.
And we'll.
But anyways, yeah, they hired these Thanksgiving reenactors, which apparently the story is based on a true story, loosely. Uh, Apparently, this was a thing for the writer of this story because his mom hired a Thanksgiving reenactor, Pilgrim, to visit their family during Thanksgiving, and this gave him like such terrors that he ended up writing this story as an adult and becoming a screenwriter and probably some sort of jaded Hollywood adult. Uh,
Yeah.
yeah, the start
So
of her
yeah,
life.
murder didn't actually happen.
Yeah, I was worried about that. I was like, are there like actual like pilgrim murderers out there?
Yeah, because it pops on the screen saying loosely based off of a true story. I was like, at least it says loosely.
As they should be more accurate and say concept loosely based on a true story.
Yeah. Um. Yeah, it was so weird, and I think the weird part about it too was just like I felt like it was so long till something actually really happened
It was
in
like all about
this.
building that tension.
Yeah, so they quickly introduced the pilgrims, but like nothing really happens. There's like a lot of weird things and suspense and like odd noises and like like Cody would talk to Ethan and be like, "Oh, blah blah blah." And he goes, "Well, what about the cross that's like in your dresser by your bed?" And she's like, "How the hell do you know that?" So just like weird things like that. And then like overnight, he randomly builds this weird ass
Yeah, like a
shed
shed. Yeah,
like right next to their pool, and it's just like really odd. And like the mom and dad are like cool with this for so long. I think like Ethan has like even more of like I don't know, I call them the elders because they're like a bunch of like the older people that are dressed up as pilgrims. They come like the day of Thanksgiving and like help prepare and like just I don't know, just a lot of like
Uh,
weird
it's like they're
things.
gonna do a barn raising in the garage for
Yeah.
this dude's office.
So just like finally Anne kind of gets like it kind of pops in her head like, "Oh wait, this is really weird."
Yeah, it takes her way too
It takes
long.
her way too long to finally like grasp that like, "Wait, this isn't okay."
Yeah, particularly, you know, would have been ringing alarm bells for me is like when the two reenactors that I hired came like a week early,
Yeah.
and they said, "Hey, we're staying in your house. We need to be here to prepare." I was like, this was not in the waiver that I signed
Yeah, yeah, they
on your
came
website."
a week early, except for Patience stayed at Finn, the boyfriend of Cody.
Yeah,
S-
Finn and Catherine,
yes. Yeah, yeah.
which I felt
Uh
bad for Catherine because she seemed like she got like some like was it like a passive aggressive like help from
yeah,
Anna.
that was wild.
Yeah,
But yeah, so Patience, the pilgrim lady, she stayed at their house and she was the first one to die.
yeah, and
And Catherine
yeah,
was.
we
She was
get to see Patience
drugged.
try to make some like blood butter. I don't know what she's trying to
Yeah,
churn
I
blood.
was gonna ask you, like, what the hell was that? I didn't know
Uh,
if maybe I missed something.
so like I'm not certain where the blood came from because it didn't really seem like it came from Catherine because like it's not like
Yeah,
she was missing half her face. She
yeah,
was
she
just
wasn't
dead.
missing anything. Yeah,
Yeah,
it looked like she fell and hit her head.
yeah,
Because okay, so Patience was hanging out at Catherine's. Finn was not there, and Patience gave a drug. She drugged
yeah.
freaking Catherine, and it looked like really Catherine was going upstairs, maybe to lay down, fell, smashed her head, ended up dying, I guess. But Finn comes home and hears just a thud, thud, thud. And my first thought was we're gonna see patients like chopping at her or something
Yeah.
like that. But we just see she's sitting there with one of the butter things, turning it. But yeah, then all of a sudden there's like a ton of blood coming out of it, and you're like, oh my god, like is the mom in there?
I'm just like, what is this achieve? Yeah, well, once we see the body, it's like, what is this achieving?
Yeah. And then at that point, it's just like nothing was missing off the mom. She just had bruises on her head, like she fell. So you're like, what the fuck are you turning? Like, what do you? What's your goal here? Because you're just smashing blood. Like, I don't understand.
I honestly, so I was wondering if they were gonna keep the suspense of this going. So this kind of broke the suspense. It's like, okay, they're malicious. They're there to kill people.
Yeah, because that was the first
Um,
time we saw actual violence.
I was like thinking they were gonna keep the pretense up and just kind of keep building the suspense and building and building. It's like, are they gonna do something? Are they gonna do something? Are they gonna do something? And just keep building it for much longer. But that kind of like broke the tension for me. And I was like, okay, they're bad guys. They're evil.
Hmm.
It's like whereas previously I was like, maybe they're just weird and they're just like really committed. Maybe it's gonna be somebody else who's the bad guy.
Yeah,
But
yeah, and I kind of thought about all that too. But what was annoying though is like so after that scene there was kind of went back to a lot of just suspense of nothingness for a little bit. So like in my head, I guess I was thinking, "Oh, that's the first kill, that's the first like oh, this is whenever we start getting gory, violent kind of stuff."
yeah, it's where the dam breaks.
And
Yeah,
then but
you
it
think?
doesn't. Like Patience comes back to the main house, you know, of Anne and or yeah, Anne and Shane and everybody. And it was just like, "Oh, she couldn't handle it. They ran off."
Yeah,
And
Anna takes that hook, line, and sinker,
yeah, and like
which
everybody
shows her opinion of Catherine there.
yeah. And so and then it just kind of went back to preparing for Thanksgiving. Nothing I mean, obviously suspenseful things, but nothing really happens for quite a while.
I was
Just
gonna
a
say,
lot of
I
suspense, a
think they
lot
start
of
resuming building that tension
yeah,
there.
kind of rebuilding it. And then I guess it's technically Thanksgiving Day. They don't really say, but I would assume it's Thanksgiving Day is whenever all hell breaks loose.
Well, it's like it's confusing me because I thought like the first scene where the family's at the dinner table, I thought that was Thanksgiving for some reason.
Yeah,
'Cause
I
they
assume
were
so
eating a
too.
bird and they had the wishbone thing, and I was like, the wishbone thing is apparently what starts this whole deal.
I enjoyed how that came full
Yeah,
circle
circle back around.
because yeah, whenever they were talking about doing the reenactors thing, like whenever the mom brought it up of just like, hey, what if we did this? I really want to do it. Blah blah blah. Anyways, for some reason they had a wishbone, and Cody got the majority of it. Right? Isn't that what it is? And her wish
Yeah,
was, I hope this backfires on you.
yeah.
And that's
I hope it blows up in her
yeah,
face. Yeah.
I hope it blows up in your face.
It was like
Uh,
I think the literal interpretation of that wish would have Ethan just exploding in her face.
that would have been really
Yeah,
funny.
pretty funny.
Um, but yeah, so we'll get back to how that comes back into play. So
Yeah.
besides the obvious, but more details. So, um, but yeah, no, I kind of thought the same thing. It felt like that was a Thanksgiving dinner, and then it wasn't. And then it kind of felt like the night that Ethan was first there, whenever we saw that for dinner, that kind of felt like a Thanksgiving as well.
Yeah, kind of.
Just it felt like we had a lot of Thanksgiving dinners in this movie.
It's like
It's
Groundhog
so
Day, but
weird.
like Thanksgiving. So it's like
Yeah,
Thanksgiving.
it was so odd. But really they were just like they got there a week early because they had to prepare, as in like he had to build a shed, they had to build a bunch of random objects,
Socks,
lots of socks. Um,
darning of socks, building of stocks.
yeah. I can't remember what else. Like a lot of
They
preparation.
built like a torture chair. Yeah,
Yes,
they
yes,
built one of those.
the torture dunking chair thing. It just they built a lot of stuff that nobody questioned till Thanksgiving Day.
Yeah, I'm never hiring. I'm never hiring a Pilgrim reenactor. I'll tell you what. Even
What
after this,
what'd you have before this?
I before this I didn't know that was even a thing, but I can tell you I definitely wouldn't now.
Maybe I'll suggest it to my family. We'll see what happens.
It's funny because like I watched part of this movie and then I went out to get some lunch at a restaurant and then as I was there I was just like looking at all the wait staff like suspecting like are you gonna try to kill
Are
me?
you gonna kill me? Oh my gosh. I could be like, "Hey mom, if you really want to have like the most memorable Thanksgiving ever, I know what we should do. Look on
Yeah,
Facebook."
let's look on Facebook see if we can get some Pilgrim reenactors.
Yeah. So, anyways, so Thanksgiving Day. Oh, this is whenever everything goes nuts. Absolutely crazy. Um,
It's like so like what breaks it? Is it do you think it's that Anna finally figures out that something's wrong and she gets her and Shane like try to leave?
that's kind of what it feels like is yeah, whenever it kind of hits Anna of just like, oh no, like
Like it's like the bullshit alert finally start going off. Yeah.
yeah, because she's running around looking for Tate. Yeah,
Mhm.
Tate. And she can't find Tate. And that's whenever, yeah, she kind of just like, no, this is fucking nuts. Like, what's going on? And like,
You know what it is? It's that somebody's messing with the decorations in our living room that finally catches her attention. I think that's what it is.
yeah, probably.
It's like it's somebody who's like messing with something on the shelf, and she's like, "Oh shit, something's going down. People are messing with my decorations in my living room."
Yeah. Eh,
It's like this is better homes and garden, bitch.
I
Leave my
can't
shit
remember. I
alone.
can't remember like the first thing that happens on this though. Like the first.
The first thing that catches her attention, I think she just notices it like she notices the builder out in the backyard. He's just like building something. He's like, "What are you?" She's like, "What are you doing?" He's like, "I'm the builder. I build stuff."
Yeah.
Yeah. And then I think she goes to get Shane, and he's just kind of like smoking and joking in his office. And
Oh
yeah,
yeah.
and then they just kind of like are alarmed at like that there's so many more pilgrims in the house.
There's so many. It's
Which it
nuts.
didn't catch him off guard that there was like three additional like randos there that were going to help him work in the garage. But then you notice that like there's like an entire troop of pilgrims there. And is it like a cult?
It must be. It must be a cult type feat because that's what it felt like.
It's like a cannibal cult. We learn to
Mm,
find out.
mm. That was a interesting twist I didn't
Yeah,
see coming.
yeah. I felt like it just snowballed so hard
Yeah,
after that.
that's the thing is like really it went from like just building up the suspense to a lot happens. And that's why it's like, okay, where do I start about like talking about this? I don't even know.
So this is our fourth year doing Thanksgiving on Let's Do a Podcast. Every one of these Thanksgiving movies featured some form of torture of our protagonists.
Yeah,
Have you noticed that?
really?
Yeah. Thanksgiving. Thanksgiving. No, okay. Thanksgiving 3 had torture of a puppet. So it wasn't really like torture, but it was like a puppet.
It's still
It
torture,
was still
yeah.
torture. Last year's, which I don't even remember the name of that movie, it was just so terrible.
I don't
That
remember
definitely
last
had
year's.
torture.
I really don't remember last. I meant to look it up.
It's best that you've blocked that out of your
What
memory.
was it? What was it?
I don't know, but it was like it's the one that was like a home invasion, and they did something similar, but it was like they were not invited to the house in this other one.
Oh
It was like a bunch of like
yeah.
random vagrants invade these people's
I
house.
remember that. Yeah,
Yeah,
that was wild. That was a wild one too.
yeah. It was very. It's kind of similar to this one, except that those people were not invited. They invaded the house, whereas these people were invited. But at least they didn't force the family to eat their father
Yeah.
after killing him. So
Yeah, because that definitely happened here.
yeah.
Uh
And also, they burnt the shit out of the dad. They did like they like charred him. They didn't even like cook him all that well.
yeah, it was wild, truly wild. So
Like
yeah.
I was like, I
So
don't know how to prepare a human, but that cannot be it.
yeah. So yeah, so finally like pretty much all the pilgrims catch everybody, sit them down at for dinner, and yeah, it's the dad's head, and they force feed them their dad until um
It's like
how do they get out? I don't remember.
Oh, so there was the whole dunk tank thing where it's like she's like he's like, "Are you grateful?" And
I
she
thought that
keeps
was
saying, she's like, "Fuck you, I'm grateful." It's like, "Stop it."
I thought that was after. No?
No, I think that was before the dinner.
Oh, okay.
But then, so they do that, and then they send them to the tables to have Anna shuck the corn, and they have Cody make the cranberry sauce, which is the ultimate downfall of the group, because we also get a earlier thing where Tate goes to eat some cranberries, and they're actually Jerusalem cherries, which are extremely poisonous, and
Yeah.
they're just randomly mixed into the cranberries, and they don't take them out before they give them to the people who are in captivity, making cranberry sauce for everybody else. So
Yeah.
you can see how that's gonna go. Honestly, I didn't really think about it, thinking because I'm like watching this, I'm like, okay, what are the what's the foreshadowing gonna be for this story? And honestly, I didn't even catch that one.
Yeah, me neither. And
It's,
I
it
mean,
was it, was, on hindsight so obvious.
we didn't even talk about whenever they like put the mom and dad in the
The stocks, they brand them.
they yeah, brand them and like whip them. And yeah, ugh, it just was wild. And somehow freaking Tate hid from everybody this whole time.
Yeah, he's like, well, we learned in the beginning he's very good at hide and seek, except with his sister.
Yeah. It
But
still was weird. Like, you would think they would have found him. I would think that'd be like a priority, but
yeah.
whatever.
But we get that. We get the scene with the where she sneaks the poison berries and the poison berries into the poison berry or boysenberry. I don't know. But the berries that kill people into the sauce. We then get to see her stabbing Patience in the head with an ice pick.
That was awesome.
Patience walks that shit off.
Yeah, it like barely phased her.
Yeah, she
At
like
first,
it
she
like
was
went through her
shocked.
hand and into her brain.
Yeah, and
And
then
Patience like pulls it out, and she's like, "I'm fine."
yeah, and she was,
Yeah.
which was wild.
I thought seriously that she would have like some like she would not be like 100% functioning, but she was 100% functioning. So that was just like the luckiest shot for Patience and like the worst shot for like Cody. But we get that. We She figures out where Tate is, but she tells him to stay. She gets captured again. And then we get them stuck there, and that's when we get the reveal that they cooked the dad.
Yeah.
But then we see everybody vomiting up cranberry sauce because they ate poison berries. And we get to see them like gagging
Oh my
up
gosh.
so much cranberry sauce and killing over and dying. We get to see Patience and Ethan stick their fingers down their throat and gag up more. Like
Ugh,
they're throwing up on like the dead bodies. Grossness of like
that was so gross.
yeah, and it's like they did the thing where they like put their in movies where they put their hand in front of their mouth in between their mouth and the camera, and
Yeah.
it's like there's like a straw going up their sleeve, and so it's just like look like they were just projectile vomiting, and I'm just kind of feeling queasy just talking about it.
Yeah, just watching it too, I was like, "Oof."
But it's like you couldn't tell if it was blood or if it was like the cranberry sauce. I think that's the point.
Yeah,
But it was gnarly looking.
it was so gross. Um,
And drink more beer now. I'm talking about this nastiness.
yeah, so while all that's happening, they pretty much they break free, right? Isn't that where
Yeah, so they break. So Tate comes out. He's poor kid, poor kid. He sees his dad, the head as he's untying Cody. He freaks, understandably.
he throws up?
And okay, and I'm gonna go ahead and skip to my favorite thing in this. I'm gonna go and skip to my favorite thing in this. And there's a scene where so Cody goes off to fight Ethan. Whatever. She goes follows him. And Anna, the stepmom, and Patience end up getting in a fight. Cody's off in the hallway. He's just kind of number one. He's horrified because he saw his dad's head severed.
Yeah.
Cody's off on the side, watching Anna and Patience just like duke it out for like who's gonna like survive here. Anna is fighting and holding her own. Cody's facial expressions this whole time, he's like in like horrified glee that he's like as he watches his mom like slowly beat the shit out of Patience. Anna grabs her now deceased husband's head and uses it as a cudgel to beat patients over the head
Yeah.
with another head.
Yeah.
I think she finally gets to the point where she gets a knife and she stabs patients in the neck. At which point we flash back to Tate, who's watching this, and he gives the mom a shy thumbs up. And it's like, oh my god! I was like, is he like scared? Is he like freaked out? Is he worried? No, he's just like cheering mom on as she beats the hell out of this like interloper, murderous lady who's just trying to kill everybody in the house for not being grateful enough. Um,
Yeah. That was
but that was to me best
that
thing in the
that
movie.
was the definitely the
That was my favorite thing in the movie was that whole interaction with Tate.
yeah, that
That
was definitely
kid
the best.
put that kid in more movies. That kid is like great at facial expression.
Yeah, that was great.
Yeah. So that's my thing. But anyways, they kill the bad guys and they're down a family member.
Yeah.
So and they're down a family member up one psychology bill because it's gonna be
Oh
a
shit, no
doozy.
kidding.
Yeah.
All right. So we know Anthony's favorite thing of the movie. So I guess I'll go to
Yeah.
mine, which is the acting. So we just went from a movie where we really trashed on the acting, but I felt like the acting was so good in this movie.
Which is funny because it's like the acting was about people acting.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So I don't know,
Kind
like
of meta.
yeah, so like Ethan was able to act like a really fucked up person trying to act like a pilgrim. And I don't know, it was just so wild. But I really felt like everybody that they got did a great job at acting
Oh yeah.
in this.
Like Ethan was really good. Patience was really good.
She was awesome.
She had that great stoic face.
I feel like both the kids were great. The stepdad was okay. I think they didn't really build him up too much.
Yeah. Oh, I mean,
Um,
he was cannon fodder.
yeah,
Yeah.
but and you didn't really care for the stepmom till she like started being kind of a badass.
Until she went to Mama Bear mode.
Oh jeez. Um so I don't know. I thought the acting was great in this movie. I
Yeah.
really, really, really did. Um so I guess the thing that we disliked the most. Hmm.
What did we dislike the most about this movie?
So I would have to say what I disliked was I don't know. I could see it being a good thing as well, but I felt like there was just a lot of there was too much building up of the suspense where it kind of felt I don't know.
See, it's funny because I was going to say the same thing, but like I also, I, my opinion is conflicting on that because I feel like they took too long to build it up, but I also feel like that when we saw that Catherine got killed, I felt like it was too early.
No, I whatever it happened for me, I was like, okay, cool, here we go. But then it just went back to building. I was thinking, okay,
Well, it's like with movies like this, you gotta either have a slow you can have a slow build of suspense or you can have a slow build of dread. I feel like they
mm,
tried to do both, and you can't have both. You gotta have one or the other. Like at the slow build of
yeah,
suspense is like, are they gonna do something? Which at which point we know that they're gonna do something. But slow build of dread is like we see the bad guy doing stuff, but our main character, our protagonists, don't see it, and so we just know that they have this coming towards them, but we can't warn them about it that these people are like bad guys.
yeah. Really, I
So like
do,
they tried to do both, and it's like that didn't necessarily work as well. Uh,
yeah,
but we need to see like I mean we got like a little hints with like Ethan killing the crow after
yeah,
after
yeah.
little
Tate.
Tate tried to save the crow. Uh,
That was interesting. So, I mean, that's what's the hard part is like it wasn't a big enough deal to me, but it still is something that was like, I mean, even the fact that like my wife, she was doing a bunch of stuff. My
my
wife,
wife.
I know, I feel like I hear it every time I say it, but she was just like doing a bunch of stuff and all this, and she came in, she's like, has it gotten scary yet? I'm like, no. I don't know. Like, it just kind of hit me where I was just like, I was ready. Whenever it was time, then we got the Catherine stuff. It's like, cool, here we go. And then it's back to building. I was like, okay, all right. So it wasn't a big enough deal, I think, for me, but it still was something that just I think I disliked the most because it
Well, it's like I'd say like
like you
this.
said, they tried to do two things with the build and it just didn't quite work.
Well, it's like I'd say it's like I'd say I put it like this. It's like you see a bunch of kids playing on the train tracks. Either you got the schedule and you know the train's gonna come, and then they like you know the train's coming, but you can't stop them from playing on the train tracks,
Yeah.
or you don't know the train if there's gonna be a train coming or not, and they're playing the tracks, and you just have no clue. And that's the difference there. Is like we went from like not knowing when the train's gonna come to knowing that there's a train coming at this time. And so like it totally like all the build up towards I don't know if there's a train coming became I know there's a train coming, but like it was like halfway through the story. So it just kind of
Yeah.
like tried to change gears, but it just changed gears in like just like the most inopportune time. We need that whole thing with Catherine and her son needed to be a little bit closer to the action. Where if they moved
Yep.
it closer to when like Anna and Shane kind of figure it out and get put in the stocks, I think that would have worked. It would have flowed much better.
Yeah, I agree. Yeah, is that in between that really got them.
Yeah, I mean, it wasn't a very long period of time,
It wasn't,
but
but it was still long
it's
enough.
still stretched. It still felt like a little stretched out there.
Yeah.
Like they're trying to goose a little bit more out of there. This movie probably could have. This movie was an hour and 20 minutes, so it was nice and compact. It was nice and short. If they had gotten rid of that some of that little interstitial period there, it probably could have brought it down to like an hour and 10, hour and maybe like 5 minutes.
Yeah, probably.
It could have been maybe a little bit quicker.
Um, is that yours as well, or do you have something else?
Yeah, I agree
Okay.
with you on that one. That was I was thinking about my thing that I didn't really care for, and you said it like
Yeah.
as I was thinking about it. So yeah,
Okay. All right. So with
two for
that,
one.
let's get that rating in here. So is it a cheers or party foul?
I like this 12.7%. That's the ABV content there.
Yeah.
No,
Is
yeah,
that a good thing?
that's a good thing. Yeah,
Okay. So it's a cheers for Anthony then.
yeah.
No, it's honestly it's the same for me.
Oh, sorry. I just wanted to skip to the beer. No, this movie, I give this movie a cheers. I just sorry. The
were you really
the
just
beer.
rating the beer?
I was rating the beer just now. I skipped. I'm just like so eager to like make sure we get the beer knocked out.
Oh my god.
Because we forgot it. Almost forgot it last time. But the movie, which we are rating and we
still,
always rate,
we're still talking about the movie.
yeah, this is a cheers. I really did. Uh, you know, of the Thanksgiving movies we've watched thus far, I have to say this is probably one of my favorites.
Me too.
Yeah.
And we had that whole discussion with Alan over Thanksgiving 3. Was it 3?
Yeah,
That we
Thanksgiving
doing?
3, we went, like, back and forth, and I
Yeah.
think we, like, grudgingly made, cheers on that one.
But
I think I wanna retroactively make that a party foul.
I don't
It's,
know.
like, based on my memory.
That's
That was back in 2020,
yeah.
so I don't know.
Our life was a lot different around then.
We were just desperate for, like, any kind of
Anything. We
entertainment
just
at that
wanted
point.
anything.
Yeah.
But anyways, I agree though that this is probably my favorite Thanksgiving film that we've seen, and I give this a cheers.
Yeah.
Granted, I couldn't quite watch whenever they were force feeding the dad into everybody and all the throw up. Just there was just some things that are still like, oof, I just can't watch because of my stomach.
Fortunately, with the whole cannibalism thing, it was clear that the pilgrims were eating, like, the dad's body, but, like, it wasn't super clear that they force-fed that to I mean, it was implied, but it wasn't super clear that they force-fed it to the family members. I guess we didn't necessarily see that. It's implied that that's what happened.
That's definitely what happened.
Yeah, but
There's no
I guess I
other.
didn't see I guess I didn't, like, with my eyes see that.
There's
So
no other way to.
maybe it didn't happen.
No.
And
Anyways,
I innocently think to myself,
ugh,
so
sweet dumb Anthony. um, so even though there's some of that, but I mean, in all these movies, there's always been something that you're like, oh, I can't watch that, or I don't like that. Just in all of these, because all of our Thanksgiving movies have been horror movies.
Well, it's like it's that, and it's like, and I was just thinking to myself about like, okay, like when we said, okay, we got to find another Thanksgiving movie, But it's like it really comes down to what are the themes of Thanksgiving? It's always family. It's like togetherness, gratitude, and it's like, okay, how do you do a horror movie based around family and this togetherness and all this other stuff? It's like it's gonna have to be some kind of family being held hostage in some if you're doing like a straight up like Thanksgiving, like
Yeah.
something like centered around Thanksgiving itself. I mean, Thanksgiving is different because it's about a turkey who's taking revenge on like people who eat turkey for Thanksgiving.
Yeah.
But if you're just like going straight on towards the holiday, like a lot of these Christmas movies do, like it's a one day thing where people sit down and eat dinner together. So the horror movie is gonna have to take place during the dinner, and so it's gonna always be
Yeah.
something like this. I feel like it's always gonna be some form of like I don't want to use the word necessarily, but it's almost always gonna be some form of torture porn
Yeah.
with a family being just like totally like just like demolished by, like, some force of nature of some kind.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I mean,
Unfortunately, but that's,
yeah.
like, I feel like that's just how you execute a Thanksgiving-themed horror movie.
Yeah. And I mean, yeah, I know. I do agree. And yeah,
But this was
I
done as
enjoyed it.
tastefully as it could be done, so
Yeah. There wasn't any rape, which is
yeah,
was
which has been prevalent in
in two
at
of the
least
four
2 of the 4
movies.
movies we've seen, so
So yeah. So that definitely is pretty high up there for me.
yeah.
So yeah, no, I thought it's another, if you enjoyed just kind of a dumb movie that's pretty gory, throw it on.
Let's hope year 5 holds just as good quality content
Yeah,
for us.
hopefully they come out
Yeah,
with another one. I'd watch it for
yeah.
Thanksgiving. So
And Blumhouse always comes out with, like, as soon as I saw that Blumhouse logo, I was like, "This is gonna be not terrible." This
yeah,
Blumhouse has come out with terrible stuff. Paranormal Activity, the Paranormal Activity films were not, like, super wonderful when they got starting to get, like, part, like,
right,
6, 7, 8, 9, whatever. But the brand overall has been, like, pretty good. So,
yeah. So there you go. To Thanksgiving party cheers for us.
yes.
Um,
Huzzah.
so I guess let's move on to, so instead of thing of the week, since it is Thanksgiving, we're doing what is your favorite Thanksgiving food item.
This your Thanksgiving food of the week.
Yeah. So I'll go because it's the easiest thing. It's the pumpkin pie.
Pumpkin pie.
I enjoy turkey's fine to me. I'm not a huge fan of turkey. I eat it. I enjoy all the sides, blah blah blah.
Are you a ham or a turkey guy?
Ham.
Ham? Yeah, me too, yeah.
Yeah,
You gotta get that honey baked ham.
yeah, and a lot of people apparently don't do both. Um
Who are those people? You eat just some
my
dry
family,
ass turkey?
so we've always done it except for I think it was last year my family didn't have both. And I was like, "What the fuck?" I was just like, "We've always done it. What is wrong?" I was so
Oh,
confused.
man.
So I'm gonna make sure it's there this year because I have to. But of course, you always got to eat turkey with gravy, blah blah blah. But let me tell you, I don't like any pie except for pumpkin pie.
No pecan pie?
I don't like pecan pie.
Really?
I don't enjoy pie. But pumpkin pie, I will eat the shit out of pumpkin pie. I've eaten.
What's your okay, here's the true question. What's your ratio of whipped cream to pie?
I don't like whipped cream on my pie.
Oh, that's a 1 to 0 ratio there.
Yeah, I will eat it plain by itself. So, do you know the Cisco pumpkin pies?
Oh, yeah.
They're giant.
Uh-huh.
I've eaten a whole one by myself before. There was one
Nice.
year, it was actually the year after that, they got me my own and then one for everybody else.
Nice.
I just
That's some Thanksgiving eating right there.
yeah, I always I normally well, I can kind of gauge how much food we have. So if it's like a normal sized pumpkin pie, then it's like I'll eat more for the dinner.
Yeah.
But if it's a ton of pumpkin pie, then I'm like, okay, I'm gonna go light on the dinner, so I can like take at least more than half of this pie for myself. So, what about you, Anthony?
So my I I was kind of thinking about this, and I spoke to my wife about this, and apparently my opinion is controversial.
Mm,
But I did grow up in the Northeast as a child, and so my favorite thing is something my grandmother made for me, and it's pistachio salad. Now,
Oh,
that is, I guess, in the South known as ambrosia.
yeah.
And my wife was like, "You like that for Thanksgiving?" My grandmother made it for me, and I was like always like, I called it green goop when I was a kid, because
It is a green goop,
yeah,
so
it's like basically like Cool Whip, and pistachio pudding mix,
yeah.
uh, like pistachio nuts in there,
Yeah.
uh, mandarin oranges, pineapple. It's like all this stuff. It was so good. I loved it. Um, yeah,
I've
when my grandmother used to make it for me when I was a kid, it was like my favorite thing in the whole wide world.
I've never had it, but it's been available to me.
Yeah,
I just look at it and I'm like, I just remember asking what's in this. I'm just like,
so
there's
good.
no way I'm gonna eat that. Like,
Next time you see that or ambrosia is usually more of an orange color.
yeah.
Uh, go for it,
You
man.
know what? I will
Just get some.
it won't be at my Thanksgiving because
Is
we
it
don't ever make it, but
apparently I'm told it's more of a summer thing.
it is more of a summer thing
Yeah,
around
but
here.
it was always a Thanksgiving thing when I was growing up, so
So
yeah,
I will give it a shot, knowing that I actually found somebody that eats that.
yeah.
Um,
That was like my
yeah.
jam.
Ooh, not actual jam though. So
Yeah. Well, no. But as far as traditional goes, I think my go-to is always the honey baked ham. If we're going traditional Thanksgiving, then yeah, I'll eat me some ham. I'll eat
dude,
lots of ham, and then I will have ham the next day, and the day after that, and the day after that, and the day after that.
my
Get me
favorite thing.
some ham sandwiches.
I was about to say my favorite thing though is whenever they have Hawaiian rolls too.
Oh
So
yes,
you can
oh,
right
you
there.
gotta have
Yeah,
those.
you're making yourself a ham Hawaiian roll slider real quick. But no, I agree. I do. I always love a ham.
Man, I'm like ready for Thanksgiving
Next week, baby.
right now,
Yeah.
or
So
for those listening, like right now,
yeah, it's this week
it's
for you
happening
guys.
for you.
So let us know what your favorite food is because I love food. Food is good.
Yeah, and you can tell us on the socials at Let's Tweet a Pod,
Mm-hmm.
Let's Instapod,
Mm-hmm.
Let's Do a Podcast on Facebook, Let's Do a Podcast on YouTube. You can
Mm-hmm.
comment on this video that you're watching right now. Just down, down there.
Oof. There you go.
Yeah, I'm gonna get it eventually. It's right there. You can also click the like button, um, and subscribe. Do we have we have subscription button, right?
Yeah.
The subscription
On
button?
YouTube. Yeah.
Yeah.
So subscribe on
The
YouTube.
subscription. I should really subscribe to our channel too. I have not subscribed to our channel.
I am.
That's a fail on my part.
It's fine.
Did we already rate the beer?
No, not yet.
All right, I give it a 4.5.
I do too. It's really good. Ethan
Just
needs to
trust
go
us.
home and eat dinner and go to bed.
Yeah, I'm freaking hungry right now.
Me too.
Yeah.
But since he already
Talking
gave
about
the
all this food.
socials, thank you guys so much for hanging out with us.
Hey, Twitch. We got a Twitch.
Oh
now.
yeah,
Let's Twitch a pod.
let's Twitch a pod because let's do a podcast was already taken. So, um,
This 12.7 is kicking our asses.
we are doing fabulous. So, again, guys, starting next episode, we get into Christmas movies.
Oh my god, it's way too soon for that.
I know. So we do 2 Christmas movies, and then we're in a hiatus till Cage Fest, February.
So you can send us ideas for Christmas movies if you want, but it may be too late at that point. So we may get them in 2023.
Yeah.
But hey, I'd still love to hear what your favorite like bad Christmas movies are. So
or just any movies in general.
I mean,
please hit us up.
yeah, think it's yeah. I mean, come on, we've seen Sleigh Bells. It was
Oof.
oof.
That was a rough one.
Yeah.
But yeah, guys. So hit us up with any movie ideas at all, even if they're series, because we'll do series. Obviously, we did quite a few of them. So we'll do series. Anything else that's we'll watch anything, and even with beer. Let us know what kind of beer you want us to drink, and
beer series as well.
Yeah, we'll do different. I mean, we're doing those community ones, so.
Yep.
So make sure to hit us up. Let us know what you want us to drink. What do you want us to watch? We'll do our best to do that. But until then, guys, we will see you for Christmas movies. Let's end the pod.